smoke is quieting down. Seems like we've got to a lot of the smoke. Dub, you got smoke?
I didn't hear what you said.
Seriously,
When I feel some sort of threat or perceived threat or whatever, I chuck up my deuces and bounce.
Cardi B album title.
Man,
Am I-
Mel, did this feel like a safe space for you? Because I was watching on Friday.
and
It didn't look safe.
Really?
No. What happened on Friday?
She was trying to tell a riveting story.
He totally shit on me about who I said were like my idols. Stephanie Elam and Michaela Pereira.
Idols?
Fuck. John Douglas. You guys don't know who the fuck that is, right? Okay, well, he's the guy who started the behavioral science unit at Quantico, Virginia in FBI headquarters.
It says
No,
more
we
about
don't give
them
a
than
fuck.
you.
Huh?
It says more about them than you.
I know it
If they're
does.
laughing, you don't know the most prominent black journalists in America. It
That
says
part.
they
that
should.
part. I know.
Maybe they should.
I know.
Right, man.
Exactly.
So anyway, I can see why it might not feel like a safe
High
space
five.
to you.
I'm glad you're back.
Woo! What's going on, y'all? We are back with the files. Now listen, Marc Lamont Hill stepped in for Melyssa Ford like a true ally this episode. And trust me, it wasn't just a casual assist. He came prepared. He said he'd been watching the episodes he wasn't there for, and something didn't sit right with him. You feel me? The question on his mind, and now on ours, was simple. Is Melyssa Ford even in a safe space on this podcast? All right? That moment, woo, the moment that sparked it all came when Mel tried to talk about the National Association of Black Journalists, all right? She attended the conference in Cleveland. Now, this wasn't just a brunch or some random pop-up event. This is the premier gathering for black journalists across the nation. But before she could even get into her experience, the cast cut her off and moved on like it was nothing. No pause, no curiosity, no respect for the fact that she had something meaningful to share at all, right? Marc wasn't having it. Not just because Mel's voice got shut down, but because he's a journalist himself. This wasn't just about protecting a coworker. This was about standing up for the craft, the culture, and the credibility that comes with it. He made it clear, if this show is going to claim to be a platform for real conversations, then moments like Mel's conference matter, okay? And let's be honest, Mel's been catching heat lately. Dogpiled, violated, people bringing up her personal traumas, people turning her real life situations into running jokes, her relationships, her past, even her ability to finish a sentence. Is it all a fair game for interruption and mockery? Let me know. She's been surviving in a space where the jokes don't always land harmlessly. Then in true JBP fashion, the moment took a left turn. Mel casually mentioned that she had called Marc while he was at the conference. And instead of taking that as a sign of professional respect or camaraderie, the cast twisted it into a gotcha moment. They turned it salacious, implying Marc had to take a call outside of his cabin like he was hiding something from his wife. All right? Now, even Ice, who usually, is more measured, he even chimed in, and that surprised me. And here we go again with the recycled narrative. Mel allegedly sneaking around with a castmate. It's Imani, it's Ish, now it's Marc. Apparently no one can be on the pod without being accused of sleeping with her. At this point, it's not just unoriginal, it's really disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like if that was my sister, something like that, I have a problem with that. Now, Marc, to his credit, leaned into the joke. What else could he do in that moment without killing the vibe? But you have to wonder, when he goes home, does he have to sit down with his wife and explain that this is just how the pod works? that every now and then they're going to throw him in a fake scandal for the sake of engagement. That's a tough sell for any spouse, no matter how media savvy they are, okay? By the end, Mark circled back, to make his point crystal clear. It says a lot about the cast that they didn't even recognize the most prominent black journalist in America. And he's right. If you're not informed, at least be open enough to let someone speak so your audience can learn. Because if Mark had been there from the start, Mel's story would have been given at least 5 to 7 minutes, not 15 seconds of airtime before being smothered with all of those jokes. And just to add more mess, Joe opened the whole segment by tossing in that Cardi B is outside line, tying it back into the infamous incident with Geneva Thomas. So the real question is this: how much does the Joe Budden podcast really know or care about serious topics like journalism and politics? Or is it just all entertainment until someone like Mark forces them to get serious? Because without Mark, I'm not sure the show would be able to even, talk about these serious topics. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me ask some questions for the audience, all right? Was Marc Lamont Hill protecting Melyssa Ford, or was he calling out the whole podcast culture? Do you think that JBP has a problem with giving women on the cast the same space and respect as the men? And is the running joke about Mel's alleged relationships harmless fun, or has it crossed the line into disrespect? Would you be okay with your spouse being joked about like that on a public platform? And should podcasts like the JBP make more room for serious information conversations? Okay? We want to be informed. We want to get the information. All right? All right, or should they just stick to what the audience already expects? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll be back with the files.
My guy Dub too. That's my man though.
Gang gang.
That's my man, Big Dub.